All right, we're rolling. It's windy. This should sound good. We have these lav mics that Tyler says are windproof 100%. So if you hear any wind, if you hear, there's already a request for me to ruin my shirt. Probably not the first one in this video, for being honest. We got too much to get into to talk about going topless. Tyler, we have some Olympic trials winners. We have some 2 athletes. We have some upsets. Let's get started with what has happened. Spencer Lee takes 2 straight over Thomas Gilman. And kind of identical scenario really flipped the match for Spencer in both matches. It's this single leg, and he ends up with his leg between Thomas's, but then he comes around for 2, and then he tilts him over, and then this time in match number 2, he gets the pinfall.
Got the bar again.
Got the bar. Yeah. It's funny how much of Spencer Lee's game in folk style is kind of bleeding over into his freestyle, something we thought could be a reality for him, but he came out, he had a 2-0 lead on Gilman. It was a shot clock point and a step out point off a single leg. And then Gilman starts clawing back, and he gets it to 2-2 by criteria. And then it's a late exchange, last minute or so, where a lot of these matches are decided. And Spencer Lee goes and gets it, takes the match, and ends up winning the series. And so now the quest for Spencer is he has to, in like 2 weeks.
He's not an Olympian yet.
He's not an Olympian yet. He's the Olympic trials winner.
Yes.
Now he has to go to Istanbul, Turkey, and he has to place top 3 at the last chance world qualifier. It's going to be tough. There's a lot of good nations that are not qualified. I feel good about Spencer's chances. I would have felt good about Thomas Gilman's chances because, and this is my next point, this was not 2023 Final X Thomas Gilman. This was world champion, Olympic bronze medalist Thomas Gilman. This was that guy. He's intimidated by the wind, undeterred. I barely notice that it's even windy. But this was a great version of Thomas Gilman. His shape was good. He was getting to his position. He was getting to his single leg. Spencer Lee, which is why I have so much confidence in Spencer Lee. If you can beat Thomas Gilman, if you can beat him twice, that version of Thomas Gilman. Twice in a row. That's a status.
Yeah.
That says something. And that says to me, Spencer Lee is going to be able to qualify this weight, 57 kilograms. So 57 is done. It's in the books. He did it. Spencer Lee runs through the tournament. I say tumultuous. I don't know if that's a word, but the career.
Yeah.
Ups and downs.
I'm not saying that I was rooting for one guy or the other, but you do love to see the Spencer Lee redemption arc.
That arc, yes, the arc is something. And man, as soon as you start thinking that way with the redemption arc, you see Thomas Gilman running off the mat and the emotion in his eyes, and you're like, oh, I didn't want that either.
Yeah.
You know, it's it's really, man, that's just what this tournament brings. Some crazy emotions. There were a lot of emotional moments. Man, Mark Hall retired, like right in front of me. Just, he's highly emotional. It's not hysterical, but, a sobbing man who, gave his life to the sport, and now he's, it's a new chapter for Mark, but congratulations to him on a great career. Back to the topic at hand. We got a couple Greco spots, or one, I think. Kamal Bey got it done. He won in 2 straight over Keekanoff. So he'll be trying to qualify. Then we had 2 splits. Sancho and Ellis Coleman, they split. And then Dalton Roberts and Ildar Hafizov split. So those are going to a 3rd and final match, and that'll go down tonight. And the winner there winner of those ballots, along with Kamal, will have to go try to qualify the weight in Istanbul. The other non-qualified weight, 65 kilograms, men's freestyle, Zane Rutherford in 2 straight. And it was first match kind of a snoozer, not a lot of action. And you chalk that up, familiarity. These guys have probably been wrestling together. I mean, when Nick Lee got to Penn State in like 2018 or 17, he was training in the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club before. I think it was 7-8 years of training together in match 1. But match number 2.
One thing we didn't mention last video is that last time they wrestled, Nick Lee beat Zane.
Yes.
Backside of the 2021 Olympic trials. So a lot of people on the outside looking in, you might think, oh, Zane obviously heavy favorite, but last time they wrestled before today, Nick Lee got the win. Now, JD might call it sad boy hours because it was on the backside, but...
Yeah, JD likes to negate any backside loss as sad boy hours and that they don't count. And I choose not to, and it's good.
In this case, he might have been right.
It's good that... What up? It's good that to see Zane In that second match, he comes out right away, takedown, turn, gets a step out, and at 5-0, Zane Rutherford. Bro, this guy's a world champion.
Yeah.
World champion. Got it done in 2 straight against Nick Lee. And I feel, so there were questions. There were Gilman questions and Zane questions, and they were all around weight. Yeah. Can they make it and function? And this was the big test for Zane. It wasn't so much yesterday when he had 8, 10, 12 hours to recover and win 1 match against Jesse Mendez. This was the test. 2 hours, you're going in a 2 out of 3. And he got it done against Nick Lee, who was our rep last year, who beat Yanni, who had to beat a lot of good guys just to get to here.
Yeah.
So you feel great about Zane because this is not someone that's new to the international scene.
This is the best 65 kilogram Zane Rutherford I think I've seen. I don't know, are you willing to make that claim yet?
I'm willing to agree with you.
Okay.
And that's hard. And that's tough. And that's growth. And that's what we're all striving for.
That's not my credential.
You don't need those outside. Those
Whatever.
are just more for going inside.
I didn't want it to blow away.
He just likes flexing that he's credentialed. But he has imposter. That is literally not him.
Shut up.
Fake.
No one can see.
Fake picture. They might see that. Zoom it. Punch in for the people.
No.
Moving on. Zane Rutherford got it done. And I feel, I have recency bias, but I really do think it's not that. I really think he's going to get it done.
I do too.
He's a world champion. And we just saw what he did. He looks good. I'm not worried about the weight like I was.
I don't remember what nations at 65 have yet to qualify, but there's some tough ones.
All I know is one of them's USA. We're coming for it. Okay. Moving on. Okay, let's go back a little bit more because a lot of other stuff happened. This is going to be a full recap, I guess. All right, let's just go.
Let's go.
All right, 50 kilograms, ladies. Sarah Hildebrandt.
You kept asking. You said, Jimenez looks awesome, but how will she look against Sarah? And
Sarah is just the level.
Yeah.
She is just the bar, and she's not letting there's no ground being made up. 10-0. Audrey was never close.
It might have been 11-0, 10-0, yeah. It was something O.
It was something O tech. Stop the match. Let's move on.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't feel like this is getting reversed in rounds 2 or potentially 3. It seems like it's going to be Sarah in 2 straight. What's up, Rich Bender? Tyler said that people are saying we made this, that we're making up the people talking. That's really Rich Bender.
Rich Bender's right there.
Yeah, he's right there. I should have taken a picture of him. He's in a blue Jeep Wrangler. What a boss. He is the boss. He is the boss.
The boss of USA Wrestling.
He's the boss of USA Wrestling. Moving on. Good job, Sarah. 53. Dominic Parrish. Pretty controlled match. A 2-1. She got 2 in the first period. Mm-hmm. There was a 2-1 final against Haley Augello. So if you're Haley, you got to feel like you can turn that around. It's 1 takedown, and that's pretty much it. So Haley's in it to wrestle back. She'll have to get it done this next session. 57 kilograms. Helen Maroulis. Man, we were wondering, like, Jakara, can she make this interesting? And
First exchange
was nice.
Interesting.
And then Jakara had another almost near takedown, and then Helen got it going. She had a big 4, I think, off a carry, and then ended up getting the.
It was
did
such
she get
a
the fall?
nice carry.
I think she got the fall.
She did pin her. I don't remember if it was off of that one or if it was off a different one.
It was off another exchange. So I mean, Helen is, as good as we've seen, and it's great because she's not falling off. Like there's no signs of.
That's a battle of
regression.
2 Olympians, returning
2 Olympians. Jakara wrestled for an Olympic medal last Olympics. Helen medaled. They're both world champions. So highly credentialed, and that just shows the level that Helen is still operating at this stage in her career. Absolute legend, and she looks like she's gonna roll. And of course, all the ladies are qualified. Yes, no stress.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Of Istanbul, so they're in if they
you win, you're an Olympian.
Yes. 62 kilograms. This was a crazy back and forth match. Macy Kilty had leads at times, but it was a late man. Kayla Miracle had a sweet carry herself, and that was kind of the difference maker, turning point in that match, and it got Kayla the win over Macy Kilty. But we've seen Macy has taken matches from Kayla. She was in this match, no doubt about it. You can't. Some of these series you can kind of you almost write them off. You should maybe never do that, but in your mind you kind of do. This one, I'm like, I would not be shocked at all.
They each had leads at different points. Like one would be in the lead, then the other would be in the lead, then the other would be in the lead. So,
and they both score off each other's shots, which means there's always options. But they score off their own attacks too. So there's always opportunities to score. Amit Allure, controlled victory against Forrest Molinari, 4-0. Forrest just didn't have a lot of opportunities. It was a kind of a vintage Amit Allure match, for sure.
You say that, but I did see her shoot a pretty nice double leg. I don't know if she ended up scoring off it, but in a way that I never saw her take a shot like that at 72. Like you saw her punch the underhook, march him to the edge.
Yeah.
I saw her taking some shots. She looks athletic at 68.
Yeah.
It's fun watching her.
Yeah, she's a match away, Amit Allure, the reigning world champion at 72, coming down to 68 and trying to make her first Olympic team. And then 76, we already did a video about Kennedy versus Adeline. That's probably one of the most anticipated matches for me next round because I saw Kennedy do what she does. She got the win. Adeline clawed back, but then it was Kennedy late getting it done. We got to keep it moving, though. We already talked about that match. Back to the men.
Maybe we should talk about it a little bit more for this video. In case people don't want to go back and watch the other video. Yeah,
that's a good point. Efficiency.
Yeah.
Okay. Big four, single leg bar cigar for Kennedy, and then Adeline 2, and then another 2 off a turn, and then you're thinking, oh man, is Kennedy gonna be able to like hold her off this long? She had the criteria lead, but man, Adeline is so tough, heady, savvy. Insert adjective for Adeline. She's got a lot of them.
Yeah.
But
she's clutch.
Late score, and she is really clutch. Key exchange, underhook for Adeline. It looked like she was gonna march her out of bounds, and it's Kennedy that ends up coming behind, getting the score, and then a late 4 iced it for an 11-6 final, but it was that's a little misleading score because it was tight, very tense. First period, second period, it was like it could go either way.
We talked about it. Kennedy teched Adeline last year at the U.S. Open. Mm-hmm. Then Adeline beat her 2 straight matches. So you can't rule anything out here.
No.
Adeline, I said in the last video, her mind is just the standard for women's wrestling. Like if she believes she can win, and she does a lot of the time. Kennedy, she's wrestling a woman that she watched wrestle her whole childhood.
Yeah.
The winningest female wrestler in
Kennedy
US
likely
history.
doesn't have wrestling memories that don't involve like that predate Adeline Gray representing America. That's got to be such a weird thing. But we're continually seeing that's not really a deterrent for a lot of the best wrestlers in America.
Kennedy needs to stay on autopilot if she wants to win. Adeline needs to lock in.
Yep. There we go. Okay. Circling back down. Okay. 57, 65, 74. Kyle Dakin, a very much reminiscent of last Final X. No real opportunities to score.
Yeah.
It feels like that's what we're going to see in match 2, and there's not going to be a match 3. It feels like it's going to be Dake. He's been the standard at 74 for some time now, and I don't think it's going to change.
I've been a little surprised. I remember Nolf scored on him at 2022 Final X. I can't remember exactly how it was, but I want to say it was off a post or it was off of a tie.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Nolf take a lot of like touch and go shots from the outside, and Kyle is just too good at his head hands defense.
Yeah.
And I think Nolf's gonna have to switch it up a little bit if he wants to penetrate through Kyle's head hands.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And then, 86 kilograms. David Taylor goes down to Aaron Brooks, and that's kind of been the talk of the arena.
You tell me ahead of time that that's gonna happen. I say maybe, but not like that.
Not like that.
Not like that.
Not like a hard snap, go behind.
The way he snapped David almost put him on his face. Like I've never seen, said in the other video we did, I've never seen someone horse David the way he did. And that between his snap and his blast double, it was, man, you just don't see anyone do that to David Taylor.
Actually, the biggest surprise for me is not that. It's the lack of offensive opportunities. Hey, the lack of offensive opportunities for David, right? He didn't get in. He wasn't able to get in on the legs.
He got in that one shot. Aaron, you said it was able to keep his feet on the ground, not give up the takedown. Because if David got the takedown in that instance, he would have been up.
Yes.
He would have been up. It would have been 2-2. David would have been up on criteria. Instead, Aaron gives up a push out, still up 2-1, and it opens up the match a lot more.
Were you surprised to see Aaron fire with the lead?
Yes.
A little bit,
A little bit.
I didn't. I was like, you hold him off, but I mean that's the mentality you want to have.
Yeah.
That's the mentality of a an Olympian and someone that's trying. And if you're trying to dethrone someone, it feels like never is the right answer. Sit back and hold them off, right? The answer is you have to bury someone like David Taylor, and he's not buried. He is very alive. He is a finish away from having a lead in that match, and you cannot rule out David Taylor taking match 2 and potentially match 3. It's going to be an all-time classic this evening at the BJC.
One thing too, though, about Aaron, he went up to 97. He looks way stronger.
Yeah.
After me and JD came to Penn State in the fall, we interviewed Aaron, and he talked about his final X with David, and he said, maybe I don't need to rely on my underhook against a guy who has spent his entire career defending underhooks.
Yes.
And then at the beginning of that match, you watched Aaron punch up this underhook and almost take David for 4.
Yeah.
They didn't end up scoring off of it because David was able to slip his leg in, but man, you don't see people punching up underhooks on David like that.
I feel like
Aaron tried and was failing last Final X, and this time, man,
I think the difference is, like, it can be part of your arsenal, but it can't be the whole
can't
thing.
be the whole thing.
If your whole thing is underhook, we've seen David's taken out the best underhooker we've seen in of a generation.
Yep.
Yazdani, and he's become a legend because of it. A world and Olympic champion, and beating this another Olympic champion, another world champion. So incredible showing by Aaron Brooks, but man, you can't rest on your laurels. You're gonna have to do it again. And David Taylor's gonna, maybe David's not feeling great off the scale. You don't know. I don't know. But what
You don't
Aaron
know
Brooks,
a lot.
was that necessary? I'm conceding that I don't know. And he's got to pile on. He's a piler.
One thing too, I was talking about this with Andy Hamilton, award-winning writer and FloWrestling
Unlike
senior
you.
editor.
And also me.
We were saying that Aaron looked more fresh than David, which you
I
don't
don't
expect because he got less sleep. It seems like the cut is tougher for him,
On
and
paper.
he just looked more poppy. He looked more fresh
More
than
poppy.
David. He had pop in his joints.
Yeah. Pop. Yeah, he was poppy.
Yeah.
Poppy indeed. Okay. 97 kilograms. I thought Trumbull maybe be a little more interesting than that. What's up?
What's up, guys?
But it didn't happen. You know,
Yeah.
Trumbull had no answers. There were some times he's getting to some underhooks, doing some things, but Snyder,
Controlled
5-0,
win.
ho-hum. Classic Kyle Snyder. It's like never the flashiest, the biggest, or whatever, but the guy just wins, and he's a match away from another Olympic team, as is someone you despise, Mason Paris.
I love Mason. He was my teammate at Michigan.
But they had crazy
beef. It's on site.
It's on
I
site.
make sure I'm in the back when he's walking around.
Oh, 100%.
No, I love Mason. Mason, one of my close friends, I wouldn't say close friends, but one of my friends. Zilmer, one of the nicest guys I've ever met as well. But yeah, Mason controlled him.
Yeah.
What was it, 7-0?
Yeah, not close match, and feels like going to be tough for Hayden to overcome that. I mean, Mason's already the reigning world bronze medalist, and now he's a matchup. He's got a leg up, and man, incredible showing there for Mason, and he's a match away from headed to the Olympics, and we'll have Paris and Paris,
As it was written.
as it was foretold. Except he spells his name wrong. Should he change it? No. Chad Johnson changed his last name
We
to
were
Ocho
Mason in
Cinco.
Paris.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
destiny.
That's just it. It's
It's
destiny.
what
I think we're
the
but
chain smokers
what if-
wrote down
what if you-
all those years ago.
What if you found out it was pronounced Paris all these years? Because that's kind of looks like how it should be pronounced. Who's calling me? Chael Sonnen's calling me. Y'all don't believe me.
Answer on speaker.
All right. Chael, you're on a video right now. What's up?
I watched the entire with my whole family. They showed Dake wrestle one time, and they showed David Taylor wrestle one time, and now it's over. So I'm calling to find out who won those matches.
Yeah, Aaron Brooks beat David Taylor in match 1, and Kyle Dake won match 1, and they're wrestling matches 2 and 3 if necessary this evening. 6 o'clock Eastern. That's 3 West Lynn.
Oh, okay. All right. So there is another session. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your video.
All right, thanks. See you, Chael.
The great Chael Sonnen.
The great Chael Sonnen. The literal goat. Okay.
I love that he just calls you to find out what the schedule is.
Yeah, he's like Ben Askren. He's like, oh, what time is it? Like, explain my life. Okay, so now Chael knows, and now you know when the session is. So hopefully when you watch this, you know everything.
You sure it's not 6:30?
No.
You may have misled Chael. I think you're right.
I want Chael there early.
Okay.
To
You tell Chael 30
To
minutes
be
early.
on time is to be late. And to be late is to be left behind. And you were late. We should have left you behind. He used the, My alarm didn't go off. I
My phone
didn't
died.
charge.
I charged my phone via my computer, but my computer died because I was working so late last night. I forgot to plug it in.
Generational. It's
so then my phone
generational.
didn't charge off of my dead computer.
This is that
So my alarm
generation.
didn't go off.
This
And
is-
I was like 3 minutes late. We were still here an hour early.
We missed. What if he punched me in the head? Gosh, he'd probably break his hand.
Is that it?
We did it.
We covered
did it. Should we get
Amazing
lunch?
session. We should eat. We didn't eat
Are
dinner
we-
last. We did not eat dinner last night because we left the venue after we uploaded last night's session 2 recap. We left the venue at like what, midnight?
Yeah.
We get in the car and I was thinking Christian would punch us into some fast food place to eat dinner because we didn't eat any dinner. Instead, halfway through the drive, I realized he's just taking us straight to the Airbnb. We ate sleep for dinner, and it was delicious.
Yeah. We didn't eat sleep. You had a bagel.
I did have.
We
a
had
bagel.
protein bars. See, this guy just always crying about his situation. It was great, but I would like a meal. So let's stop talking about it. Bye.